On August 20th, Google will unveil their Pixel 10 series at their Made by Google event, and as always with Google, pretty much everything has already been leaked. In fact, various websites are already selling Pixel 10 devices, and we even saw a commercial being filmed on a public beach a month ago. So I thought, let's take a closer look at what Google will be presenting at the event and whether this just will be an evolution or could actually be a revolution. Let's go. Before we go to the buds, watches and Pixel Fold later, let's start with the smartphones. We don't need to talk long about the design, most of you probably already know there's not much happening there. The camera bar extends a little closer to the edges, but other than a few new colors, everything else remains the same. The Pixel 9 series got quite a lot of praise for its design though, so I don't think this is a bad thing at all. Under the hood, the regular Pixel will get 12GB of RAM and the Pros will each get 16, which should be more than enough. Plus, we are finally getting the long-awaited Tensor G5 manufactured by TSMC instead of Samsung. This means we can expect a significant improvement in both efficiency and performance, though you shouldn't expect Snapdragon 8 Elite performance here. But that was never Google's goal with the Pixel devices anyway. So performance should be roughly on par with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Google is also finally introducing G2 and will call their surrounding ecosystem Pixel Snap. Unfortunately, the magnets aren't built into the devices itself, but rather in the official case as we have seen with Samsung. For most people this probably won't make a difference since we all tend to put our smartphones in a case anyway, but I think it's great that the official Google cases, which I've always liked, are finally getting this feature. On the front of the device we can expect a 6.3-inch screen on the Pro and a 6.8-inch screen on the Pro XL with the typical high-end specs. I think I can spare you the details on those as there's nothing particularly special there. But what makes Pixel devices so special is AI, no surprise since Google is transforming the entire company around it. We can expect more Gemini features, so Gemini will be integrated even deeper into the operating system. Leaks also mention Magic Queue, which is a feature where Gemini will proactively suggest things for you. For example, if you are chatting with a friend about a flight, your phone could show you the flight number from your emails or proactively suggest exercises for an exam without you having to ask or search for it. And we will have to see what other AI features Google comes up with. Many AI features don't even arrive at launch, but just roll out whenever they're ready. For example, Gemini got a new design a few days ago, and we now have Gemini on smartwatches, which I think is really handy. It's crazy that my smartwatch apparently has more AI power than anything under a 15 Pro. Now for the interesting part, the camera. Let's start with the base Pixel 10, where I have some good news and some bad news for you. On the one hand, we are now getting a 5x telephoto zoom lens. On the other hand, according to leaks, the sensors will be a bit smaller than the Pixel 9s, but I wouldn't bet on whether we will actually notice a downgrade or if Google will compensate for it with software. We will have to find it out in the review, but the telephoto lens already sounds pretty good. For the Pro models, the camera hardware supposedly won't change, but Google wants to make up for that with native 8K video support and a significantly improved video mode, so we will see. Furthermore, Google will be updating a nearly forgotten product, the Pixel Buds 2a. These will receive hardware improvements and are expected to launch with a suggested retail price of €150. As for the Buds Pro, this year we will likely only see a new color. But a surprise could be the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, which will be the world's first foldable with the IP68 certification, and at €1,899 it's also a clear challenge for the competition. Samsung, for example, launched their Fold 7 with a suggested retail price of over $2,000. Of course, the Tensor G5 and 16GB of RAM are also on board, otherwise only little changes. Leaks about the Watch 4 have been really delayed, at least for Google standards. However, we know that the watches will finally get wireless charging, meaning the charging pins are finally history. Additionally, the display bezels will probably be a bit thinner again. Whether there will be new features or sensors, we will have to wait and see. I would love a redesign of the Fitbit app, and a dark mode wouldn't be bad either. So hardware wise, we are seeing stronger updates in some areas and weaker in others, but Google is known to be a software company after all, and then we can't forget that with the Pixel 10 series we will probably also see Android 16 and a new redesign. Otherwise, let me know in the comments which device you are going to pick up and what do you think of the lineup in general. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day and bye.